Well, hey, what's up, everybody? Good evening, and welcome to Shit Talking Sundays with your girl tonight, the Multiple Sclerosis Warrior. And if you guys know, there's something big and different, right? Normally, you don't see me doing the intro. I am brought on a few minutes into the show tonight. AG has decided to give me the reins tonight for the show, and I'm sure all our fans out there are going to miss him and his quirky jokes and all that stuff. Maybe he'll just pop in real quick or say something on the mic one or two times and let you guys know that he's behind the curtain. He's with us, but he's behind the curtain handling some stuff. So, but hey guys, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to my show. In the light of a multiple sclerosis warrior. Hope everyone is doing well since we seen each other last Tuesday. We did get almost through all the show, and then I think maybe the last 3 minutes, just about when I was getting ready to do the outro. Um, Internet kind of threw me out a little early. Right now, so far so good. So hey, let me keep my fingers crossed that I get through tonight's show. And this is going to be part 2 of last week's. And what I wanted to talk about and what I started to talk about was how has the pandemic impacted your multiple sclerosis, your home routine, your doctor's routine, your eating routine, even. Because I know as for me, I just jumped on things a little bit and took that opportunity to do different, change up some things, try some new things. I've been doing silly stuff, just like trying new foods that me and my grandkids have never eaten before, even if we knew it was going to be nasty. We've just been trying it. You know, why not? And we're not TikTokers or anything like that. We don't post anything really that we do every blue moon. Maybe we'll post something, a video, or but just on a regular, no, we just do this because that's what we're doing at home. And like yourself and myself, with having multiple sclerosis, we've got to keep busy around home. We can't always just go out and go for a stroll with our dog or take the grandkids out on a afternoon walk, um, or adventure out to a park and stuff like that. So for me, um, I really try and keep um, physically active inside my home. Um, that kind of was my routine anyways with MS, but as I've talked about before, the change in my progress with my MS has gotten better as far as the course of me feeling well has gotten better. Everything else, excuse me, guys, get a little more better camera angle. As far as my symptoms, have they gone away? No. Will my symptoms ever go away? No. Um, can I get more symptoms? Knock on wood, of course. And as our course of the disease changes, that's when other things, come to the forefront. And, it may change the direction of your disease, may change the direction of your DMT, disease modifying treatment. I know some warriors are on a holistic approach, which is to each his own. For me, um, I never got into herbals and more, the holistic approach just overall never, so I'm really, really naive to that. So at the time I was diagnosed, I just knew I needed to be on medication, after researching the disease. And I think maybe, um, and of course, not saying, well, if MS was planned, of course, that's ludicrous. But to say that if I maybe would have known a little bit about the holistic approach to things, maybe I would have incorporated or tried. But like most of us are slapped with it, just head on, and right then and there, I don't know if you really think, well, hey, or have time. For me, I didn't have really the mindset to say, well, let me research a different approach to that. All I know is I needed to feel better. I needed to stop what was happening to my body. And that was my first choice. And do I regret it? No, 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 no. Through the 5.5 years, I have overall been healthy, opposed to the multiple sclerosis. And meaning healthy, yes, in I've been on three other treatments, and I've never had any residual side effects from those medications or health problems during the course of the treatment. One I was on for 3 years. Um, I did start having 3 years in, I started having side effects at that point right after injecting. And I had more than one, and that was the Copaxone. And one of the side effects are chest pains and hard trouble breathing after injecting. So that happened on once, and I got through it. Um, and of course, an ambulance was called, and the hospital checked me out. My heart was fine and stuff. And I mustered through, still doing the Copaxone. And that was 7 days a week, seven different body sites, um, you know, abdomen, both arms, both thighs, both hips, um, rotating just around my body like a clock 7 days a week. That was, man, whew, talk about it. And that was my first treatment. So talk about going in with the worst of the worst. Just not the worst of the worst, has as the medicine helped me, because it did. Um, so not on that level, but as far as, man, being stuck 7 days a week, that hurt. My arm would swell. I would get penny size, dime size welt marks all over my arms. My backs of my arms, the tops of my legs are depleted from my fatty tissues. Like the back of my arms are just sagged with indents, because that medication depletes, your fatty tissues. So, and when I started this, when I was diagnosed in 2017 and was put on Copaxone, I was 44 pounds, 144, 142. I'm 5'7". So I was pretty much a slim girl, you know, and so after 3 years, our depletion, of those injection sites. Now I have heard and talked to and have seen many, many warriors be on in an injection for 12 years and never get depleted of, the fatty tissues. And I'm like, why she I wish that could have been me. Um, but then again, those side effects were they were scary. It was uncomfortable, but when you learn and know that why something is happening, basically you're going to be okay. That's what I started telling myself. Well, I had the first side effect, and then again I had it again, and I believe again on the third, I could be wrong, the second or the third time of having that side effect where I had chest pains and I couldn't breathe. Um my doctor took me off of it. Well, if he wasn't, I was going to get off. I just that was terrifying, to go through, you know, it was really, really scary. Um but then, put on 2 orals that just wreaked havoc on my, digestive system, my abdomen, my everything on the inside felt like it just was going to explode. And then that led me to Kesimpta, and which I've been on now a year and a half, a little bit over a year and a half. And no major side effects, mild, of course, the headache after, now it's giving me some muscle spasms, which are uncomfortable at times. I do take medication for that. Oh, shame on me. Shame, 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 shame. See, this is why I need AG. Guys, I didn't do my disclaimer or anything. Anything, shame on me, shame on me. Anything I said tonight, guys, is solely what my medical team has put on board for me. What is good for me may not be good for you. What is good for you may not be good for me. So not at all will I portray to be a doctor on this podcast or give you medical advice. If you feel that you're in a medical emergency, please dial 911 and reach out to family and friends. Okay. Sorry, guys. See, this is what happened when you put me in the host position, right? But so um yes, so with the Copaxone, year and a half down the road, being pandemic, we're coming out of the pandemic, so things for me were wild in the beginning of the pandemic for me, all around disease, medication, in and out of the hospital, in the hospital with no visitors, you know, um, and I'm sure a lot of other warriors experienced that too, not just me. And so from before the pandemic into now, with the routines, and with feeling better, of course, when you feel better, you're able to stay awake longer. There was a point, guys, I couldn't stay awake. I was napping 3 times a day. Like, wow, like, really? Um, and it was just like that's all I wanted to do. That was my enjoyment. That's when I knew I'd feel better, um, is to go to sleep. When I woke up, I felt better. And back then, before the Kesimpta, I didn't have much energy. And those are the spoon, back to the spoon theory. You guys hear me mention, you guys probably see it, you talk it. Um, and being having the fatigue of MS, and you guys know it's not a normal tired feeling. Tired and fatigue can't even be used in the same sentence with multiple sclerosis. Like, seriously. And I know you guys understand that oh too well. Um, it's an exhaustion feeling. It shouldn't be called fatigue. Um, in a diagnosis with someone with multiple sclerosis, it's an understatement. Fatigue is an understatement with this disease. Um, this fatigue, if you look around too long, you get fatigued, exhausted. Okay. Um, so if you go take a nice warm shower, you could hardly make it back to the bed. Is that fatigue or is that exhaustion? Yeah. So um I used to take a shower, try and find my way back to the bed, and hopefully I make it before I just killed over with fatigue and to go to sleep again. So my days were just so not doing nothing. I could not plan anything. I could plan to eat, bathe, watch some TV, maybe talk a little on the phone. I mean, to hold my right arm, to hold my left arm. What I do know is a lot of us warriors have a deficit on, one side of our body. Mine is the left. And even to move that, my leg, my left arm, my hand, it takes a lot out of me. It still does. It still does. I feel like, and reason being is, with multiple sclerosis, the damage on our brain and on our spinal cord, our nerves are damaged, and through those nerves, our signals travel from the brain of course, to those nerves, and it tells us what our brain is trying to do. Okay. So for us, traveling through that journey through those nerves that are damaged, that's broken signals. Okay. So um each time my body is doing, just regular functioning, whatever part of my brain is damaged, the spinal cord, the nerves, that's working overtime trying to get that signal. So why I'm slow on the left side, because I'm guessing there's more damage on the left side. So to get my left side to move, normally it takes my brain extra time to get those nerves, to cross, to spark, to get that message across. So for us, um, looking around, moving, speaking, any action really through, for me, even speaking, um, it's very tiresome. Very, very tiresome. And sometimes I get on a talkful binge and just talk, 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 talk. And I'm like, afterwards, I feel like I've been hit with a sledgehammer. Oh my god. So, yes, and I know others feel this too. Any little thing, paying attention wipes us out. Um, yeah. So, um, things that I have brought into my disease, daily life with the disease during this pandemic, um, I am definitely, definitely hoping, um, and God willing, to keep moving forward with it, because things have changed. And of course I owe this to him upstairs, and also the medication, and also my knowledge now that I know about my body with multiple sclerosis, and mentally, and what I've taken on to just keep pursuing the life with multiple sclerosis, really has opened my eyes to a lot of things about living daily with multiple sclerosis. I know I can't go out even when the pandemic is over. I know I can't go out and do those things, even if the pandemic on, off, gone, here, there, whatever. So this is I've taken on new hobbies this year. Um, being inside more, of course, but being able to, and knowing I need to keep my brain health um moving and growing. So I'm constantly testing myself and pushing myself a little bit to um do things that I haven't done in 5.5 years, because um I really didn't think that I could. I have had down days, weeks, months, but now they're far few in between. Thank you, Lord. And thank you, K- Kisimta, because it's really kept me on track. It's kept me from being in the hospital, and being able to mentally complete a project um, is everything right now. I've come a long way from 5.5 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing things that, wow, that I didn't think, well, I would, yeah, I would say I didn't think that I could do, but yet actually doing me even more, trusting myself and my body to step out on the edge a little bit. And in doing such, guys, you could always step back. You know, there's no time frame for you. You have to put yourself just in, if I do, if I don't. I don't hold myself accountable every day to make um a step towards progress, I don't put that stress on myself because that's when I start to think and feel I'm getting overwhelmed. I don't plan. I don't like that feeling of being overwhelmed because I know at any given time, if I don't feel well, I don't have to cancel anything on anyone or anything. I call it day by day, small things. Yeah. If I'm feeling good today, tomorrow, I say, okay, I'll throw a roast in the oven. Okay. That for me is big. Okay. That for me is big. So, coming from a place where, I've taken care of myself all my life, cooked, I love cooking, I love being in the kitchen. I still do. I have grandkids that I'm teaching how to cook. Um, I have a child, 2. They call me, "Mom, what'd you cook for dinner?" Stuff like that. So my heart is still in it. And there's days to where I will definitely do what I can. I won't put too much on me the day before, but the day of, hey, if I wake up and I'm feeling what's my million bucks, then I will get done little things that my heart desires that I want to do. Okay. And I advise everyone to map out something, at least twice a week, and nothing big. Just test yourself. Know your limits. And sometimes you may not know if you have limits, and you won't know unless you try. Small things. It's really small things. Even like for me, braiding my granddaughter's hair, that's big. That's big. That gives me hand exercise, which I definitely need. Sometimes when I use my hands, they cramp up and my left hand is slow. So I love to incorporate things that have my deficits working. Definitely have to. That's important to me. Um, as I always say on prior I told myself that I was going to work hard on me. Okay. Work hard doesn't mean you have to hurt yourself. Okay. It doesn't. Things that encourage you, that motivate you to keep pushing forward with multiple sclerosis is key. And that's what I've done. And that's what I'm doing. A lot of things have brought me to this point. And thank God for that process. Um, because when I think back, I'm like, shit, where would where would I be in this disease if I didn't make that move? If I didn't make those steps? Um, I don't push my limits. Even before the pandemic, I couldn't overdo myself. It was harder on me, trying to do things and doing it for too long, too much, and it's just simple things. You warriors know we cannot handle too much, if anything. There's some warriors are out there still running, jogging, working, um, everything. But then there's some of us, like myself, that aren't so fortunate. But I'm blessed and I am fortunate in ways that some other warriors are not. So um, the pandemic, I will always, of course, I think we will always remember because we're living in times that we've never experienced in my lifetime, and I'm sure in a lot of people's too, because of the pandemic, because of just everything that's going on in the world, and on top of our changes, what we've went through with multiple sclerosis during the pandemic. Going to the doctors was hard because you wanted to protect yourself. They went to televisits. Some of us, just didn't feel that we were getting the optimal care doing, televisits or visits with Zoom and stuff like that. Me, myself, I enjoyed it because I didn't want to be out there with a lot of other people because of the germ factor and with being on Kesimpta. My immune system is poor due to the fact that it um, shuts down my immune system. My B cells that fights infection and stuff. That T cells, B cells. That's what multiple sclerosis is. My immune system is attacking my own system, and so therefore the kesimpta shuts those down, but leaves us vulnerable to the germs. But guys, I'll tell you from, and this is me. I've been there. Let me knock on wood. I have not had a cold. My grandkids, I raise grandkids. They live here. They're in school. Actually, one's getting over from being sick now. One just started getting sick yesterday. The headache, the boogers, the stuffiness, the overall, I do not feel well. And this has been maybe 3 times since the pandemic. My grandbabies have gotten sick and they're under my roof. And I haven't caught anything, so but and with that being said, the medication is working. It's working. I am over a year hospital free, and I believe I would have to really check dates, but I believe at this point this is the longest I've been hospital free. I was hospital free just met a year before, and bam, and but now I believe I'm a year free, over a year free and some months. So the Kesimpta is definitely working. It has helped with my fatigue level. I still have the fatigue, it's not gone, but it has lightened. I definitely feel that I can actually get through a 2-hour movie and not feel like I have been hit with a Mack truck and have to go to sleep for 3 hours. Okay, so that's what my life consisted before. I couldn't do anything, guys. I was just MS was just full-fledged, and I needed to get a grip on it, the medications that I were on. Now that I've been on the Kesimpta and see what the great progress that I've made on the medication, now I know those other medications, they weren't working 100%. And sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes we don't know how a medication is gonna, how our body is gonna react to it. We don't know how the disease is gonna act to it. So thank God there is multiple medications out there for us warriors, because and as you guys know, this is my fourth medication. So, you know, that's definitely, thank God we have options. So, with this, hoping Kesimpta is one of the medications you could be on it for long periods of time. As long as your body is tolerating it, it's working on your disease. It's stopped the progression of your disease, and your blood work is fine, because with being on DMTs, you have to have blood work done every so many months. Not just with Kesimpta. There's other disease modifying treatments. You also have to have liver test, even heart test, kidney test, blood test. You got to see an ophthalmologist for your eye health. Oh yeah, there's many, but at the end of the day, thank God that we have those medications, even though we've got to, keep up on our health, um, being on those medications, not just our multiple sclerosis health, but other issues as well. Um, so I've been fortunate to be on a medications for this long, and everything's been stable. Um, which, hallelujah. So I'm grateful for that, and I could only hope um to do better and bigger things in the life of multiple sclerosis. Um, it's it's kind of hard to say. I don't know what it was. Maybe God that gave me this direction, and God sent AG my way, because um, AG takes his time out and his skills to put me on air and spread an awareness with, this disease. And it's exactly what I needed. Um, it's changed my thinking about the disease and educating myself, uh, you know, all the time, all the time. I love to do reads on it. I love to keep up with the newest information. There's so much news out there now that's we're getting closer and closer to a cure. Actually, they're coming up with a vaccine that that can stop. I forgot what it's called. But it prevents, if you can stop that, you can prevent multiple sclerosis. These are all findings too, even more so that have just been came about during the pandemic when they were making the vaccines for the COVID-19. They actually started working and trying things out and coming across things that um, are more accessible vaccine wise, that can stop um, things from progress coming turning into MS that they're finding out is linked to it, like mononucleosis. To stop you from getting mono can stop you from maybe catching or not catching, but developing multiple sclerosis. There's so much, guys, across the board. Interesting reads about the technology and getting closer and closer into coming into a cure. I'm hoping in my lifetime um, that they will, find a cure for multiple sclerosis. It seems like it's just this far away, right? This far away in technology world is like, it could be 10, 15, 20 years, but still, in fact, um, a cure is definitely needed. There, multiple sclerosis is widely spread. My God. Um, so things that I am going to not let when the pandemic gets back on, just because things open up now. There are things that open up now. Um, I don't see how, for me, that's not going to take away from what I do now, just because I can go out, even feeling a little better, just even if I want to venture out a little bit more, that's not going to stop me from pursuing and becoming something greater with my multiple sclerosis, doing more for me actually, even at home. It's all about the hair, makeup, feeling good. We women, and even men too. Men like to stay looking smooth and, feeling, themselves and feeling great about yourself. So those things play a big part for me every day. And I'm getting up there in age too, so I don't want to be sitting around the house just looking like an old maid, a sick old maid. I don't. I do not. And I know, and it's not going to be every day I'm going to get up and put glitz and diamonds on and do all that stuff, but it's just little things. It's just the little things for me. And I'm doing that. Okay. Even if I'm not going outdoors or anything, I want to look at myself in the mirror and be like, oh, I got the latest hairdo, or the newest lip shade on, you have to stay, in yourself. It's important not to give those things up. So the pandemic has I know I can't say that pandemic has changed that for me, but I know during the pandemic, and maybe because I knew I wasn't going out anywhere, but now that I can, I'm already in that stage of routine of um I want to feel good every day. I want to look good every day. I may not feel as good as I look, but I want to rock my nice sweater, my badass purse I just got today. My birthday gift to myself. I'm just like me and my Coach purses, but oh, it's fabulous too. I should have brought it in here to show everybody. Um, but um to stay true to me, this is where I'm at, and even when everything opens up, that won't change the direction that I feel that I'm headed in. I'm comfortable at home. I'm comfortable with I've got some hobbies on. People are liking the gear I'm making. I do it for Larry's fishing crew. And actually, I was just asked to do some things for my mother-in-law and for her some church hats with saying on it, and got all these little things going on, and I'm so anxious to do each project, and I don't put a time frame on it. That's one thing I don't do either, because that makes me feel overwhelmed if I feel like I'm strict into time, because if I wake up and I'm feeling, well, I need 2 3 hours before I could even start to function. I don't want to let anyone down or feel overwhelmed and stressed out. Stress with multiple sclerosis, you guys know it doesn't work, right? So I take my time. I don't put myself in that big commitment situation, and I'm sure you warriors know that that can be troublesome for you, not only body wise but mind wise, mentally. It'll have you all worked up. That brings our energy level down. We already are tore up from the fatigue. So there's certain things that I do, how I'm working myself with these things to stay relevant to myself, um, is just such. I take it one day at a time. If I feel like doing something, I try and do it. And if I do it, then kudos to me. And there's even sometimes that after I do something, I tell Larry, or I tell someone, "Can you believe I actually just did that?" Because it's big when you come from in bed for 3 months, couldn't stay awake, to I don't even have to take a nap during the daytime anymore. You guys, that's big. Kudos to you guys. Thumbs up, warriors. Keep working on yourselves. Work, 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 work on it. Don't give up. It's possible. It really is. At a point, 3 months, I couldn't stay awake. I thought I was dying. This disease can take a hold on you like a boa constrictor. How do you say it? Boa constrictor, and you feel like it's not letting up. Okay. It will. Find yourself in it, educate yourself, and pull yourself out of it. You have a bigger purpose, and you owe it to yourself. It may not happen as quickly and as much all at once, but it will. It will. You just believe in yourself, and don't give up. Know that you're not alone. Too is the thing. You compare, get on your groups, get on here, look at my videos, stay engaged with people who are giving you their truth and their stories, and share, compare, and support is everything. I know, and just knowing that, just because I have the podcast on Tuesdays, and just because I have other channels, doesn't mean that I just go off my daily life and da 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 da. No, I compare myself, my disease, to other warriors constantly, because I know that I'm not alone, and by sharing my advice and just kind words with someone who's not feeling as great as I am that day, I need to let them know, because I have those days, and it has taken other warriors to change my mindset, to let me know, warrior, we got your back, and we're fighting. No, there's 200 of us right now in this group channel that are praying for you. That's everything. That changes your morale. That gives you a reason to know that tomorrow may be a better day. Okay. It's lifted me. It's brought me out of some bad times. I would search and search and just read, read, read. and listen to people, their testimonies, and talk about their story, their journey. And I knew out of it all, I was in tears for other people because there's others that have it way worse than myself. So keeping yourself engaged with others alike or everything, and it'll humble you to know, for you to know, man, I'm just sitting up in bed today chewing on some popcorn. I'm blessed. Okay. So there's so much, and how you look at this and how you choose to live it is up to you. Okay. I will not change a thing. The pandemic did not change my disease for the worse. So I have nothing to blame or to say because of the pandemic. I need to change this, or this, it affected me in a negative way. No, I took it all in. We dealt with it. We handled it. We survived it. We came through it all, and this is where I'm at. So yeah, so I can't say anything, and I pray every night, and I pray for you other warriors out there to have a more settled day as the days go by, and more progress with you dealing with multiple sclerosis and living your best life. So remember that, guys, and always, 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 always take care of you, because if you don't, who will, right? So on that note, guys, thank you tonight for tuning in. I'm glad that we didn't have no internet connections, and please share the video tonight. Reach someone who may not be feeling like they have anyone, and this disease may be getting the best of them. Just even by sharing, like you're reaching out your hand to someone else. Without you, I can't do this alone, guys. So please always share the video and give me a thumbs up if you like your girl tonight hosting. I know I'm not AG the Dad. I didn't stick my foot in my mouth. So, but as he would say, because every day is Shit Talking Sundays with your host, normally every Tuesday, AG the Dad, but tonight you got your girl, an MS warrior. So, guys, please, 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 please tune in next Tuesday. I'm sure AG the Dad will be right back, and we'll find out, hey, well, what happened last Tuesday? What we miss? What you didn't share? We'll share it tonight. So we'll be on his line next Tuesday and find out, hey man, we missed you. We missed those jokes and everything else. But so I hope you liked what your MS girls had to share tonight. It's just me keeping it real in the raw. I feel like that was a subject that I wanted to touch on, because I know how I was 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago. I know where I was 2.5 years ago with the pandemic, and I know I am right now. Okay, and I plan to stay this way and flourish and progress forward. And the only thing that I could do is keep bringing the positivity to my other warriors. Okay, guys. So, with that being said, all the vibes going out to you guys. Have a good night, and your girl will see you here back Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here in Cali. Don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe, and see you next week. Peace out.